So how do you make sure you're not building software in a vacuum? Organizations struggle to truly embrace the concept of agile. But what exactly does building software in a vacuum mean? Well, it's quite simple. You spend quite a bit of time to imagine what your software should do. You do a lot of planning, a lot of code is written, and after months, you finally decide to release something in production, only to find out that most of your expectations or decisions did not resonate or bring value to your end user. You didn't solve any problem, and you didn't solve the problem you thought you were solving. You were in your own ego driven, self sustained vacuum. To effectively break this unsuccessful pattern, you must be able to release small incremental value to your end users so they can tell you what works and what doesn't. Ideally, you want that process to be seamlessly orchestrated thanks to DevSecOps and proper metrics gathering so you can assess consumption, ease of use, and have a rapid feedback through canary release, A/B testing, and more. DevSecOps and modern deployment concepts are essential to enable your teams to get there. You literally have no chance of scaling or succeeding at building relevant software innovations if you don't embrace those concepts. So this is where you begin. You define some broad ideas, you t-shirt sign them by estimating the work very rapidly. You don't spend a lot of time. Even some people actually recommend not to waste time trying to size your work. But I argue some sizing and t-shirt sizing is good enough. You cut them into themes and epics to properly define the work, and you ensure that your teams are focused on releasing those user stories as often as possible. Ideally, at minimum, at the end of each user story. And of course, you're releasing in production with your real end users to consume it, not in a lab, not in a vacuum. You establish proper metrics and build telemetry to track consumption and customer feedback so you don't have to call each customer to find out what they think, and that just doesn't scale. You keep on prioritizing your backlog and user stories based on that feedback and not your ego. Ford made it clear when he said that if he asked people, they would have wanted faster horses instead of cars. But at the same time, you still need to be able to validate your assumption. I would certainly not change my mind or stop a game-changing concept just because a few short-sighted customers are pushing back on your ideas. So to avoid building software in a vacuum, you must truly embrace this course and this content. First, of course, with DevSecOps and the concept around ruthless automation, thanks to your continuous integration and continuous delivery pipeline. But secondly, thanks to the GitOps principle of continuous deployment in production with telemetry and rapid feedback from your end users. By rapidly delivering capabilities to the warfighters, the DoD saved on average between 8 to 18 months of time per program per 5-year cycle, thanks to the rapid feedback from their users, so that they would focus on building the features they truly needed and did not waste time building features that often ended up unused on the shelf. Keep that in mind. You're saving time, you're saving money, you're saving bloat. That's why your true foundation for your innovation and velocity is in fact mostly based on your ability to execute this DevSecOps and digital transformation. Investing in your teams so they can learn and embrace these concepts will be game-changing for your ability to deliver value, compete, and move at a pace of relevance. The concept behind canary releases, which enables you to release to production first to a subset of your end users, like 5% for example, and then increase manually, maybe automatically as well, based on the feedback and the telemetry collected, drastically reduce your risks, but also streamlines your ability to see what sticks. You slowly start releasing first to 5% of users, 10, 20, 30, up to the point where you're confident that you can now release the capability to the entirety of your user base. Benefits are similar, of course, with A/B testing. So you can compare how your end users react to two different options for capability implementation, for example, or things as basic as some UX change or design. By doing this, you're enabling your teams to fail fast, learn fast, but don't fail twice for the same reasons. Check out our video segment if you missed it on that as well. There you have it. By continuously delivering small incremental changes to production and not in the lab stuck in self-congratulating vacuums, you're able to move at the pace of relevance, deliver true tangible value to your end users, and streamline your learning and feedback process. You'll be surprised by how often wrong you were in some of your assumptions and how different the market reacts to various innovations. Don't let your ego or pre-existing assumptions get in the way of tangible customer feedback, but at the same time, don't think the customer is always right. It isn't always true.